Shalom. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who rule and teach well in the sense of Shalom to the 144,001 Now, this is just a touch up. If you forgot, the WHO is having a pandemic treaty that gets its pretty much goes into effect post May 2024, and this is from the WHO themselves going into what this treaty is all about. So the title reads, WHO welcomes historic commitment by world leaders for greater collaboration, governance, governance, and investment to prevent, prepare for, and respond to future pandemics. The WHO welcomed today's historic commitment shown by global leaders as a UN General Assembly to strengthen the international cooperation, coordination, and governance and investment needed to prevent a repeat of the devastating health and social economic impact caused by the bug, make the world better prepared for future pandemics, and get back on track to achieving the sustainable development goals. So essentially what these devils is doing is getting the building blocks in place for this Black Swan event to come with martial law and EROL. You see, when Jacob's trouble is going about, right, it's not going to be full blown WROL. It's going to be EROL mixed in. So you may be confused a little bit about what EROL is, and you may be familiar with what WROL is. So if you're not, WROL stands for without rule of law, right? Order out of chaos, lawlessness. Okay, so you can break into somebody's house and do whatever you want to them, take their stuff, and no police, no military, or whatever will come in your way to stop that, right? There's no authority, there's no punishment for doing wickedness, so to speak, because the true law is a law of the Heavenly Father, written in the Tanakh, all right, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, and the whole scriptures in itself is the law, all right? Now, EROL is what? Excessive rule of law. So excessive rule of law means extreme tight measures, right? If you don't follow the rules, you will be severely punished, right? Like it reads in the scriptures. Let's go to it. I'm gonna give you an example of EROL. This is Revelations 13-15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And worshiping the image of the beast is taking that, that charagma. And the image of the beast is this system that these damn devils have created. Now, that is an example of EROL. Is gonna come a point in time that if you don't take that charagma, these Edomites and their soldiers and their terminators and whatever else may have you will put you to death if you don't take it. One of these terminators, you never know. Esau can have a terminator, have I don't know, 1,000 charagmas in this terminator, and then this terminator can find and seek out humans, and this terminator will have a charagma, and this terminator can tell you to take this charagma. And if you don't take it, the Terminator puts you to death. That's the type of power that the Heavenly Father has given these devils to do. All right, this is not make believe. This man was given power, all power on the left hand side. Let's dive into that. This is 2 Thessalonians 2-8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, who? The Edomites, who is a so-called white man, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, Shaitan, with all power in signs and lying wonders. So these Edomites have all power under Satan. So they have an extremely high level of spiritual power. Extremely high level. These devils have an extreme high level of spiritual power. And they show glimpses of that in these movies, and people think that this is that these movies is fictional. No, it's not. You know, I always are gonna say this in that Terminator movie before these drones, right? And what I mean by drones, I mean those vehicles that fly with the four wings on each side that you can buy for they're cheap now, like $50, and you can fly a drone. You should know what I'm talking about. Those were shown in the Terminator movie before those were ever known to the public. All right, those drones. So what do you think these devils got in store? If they're showing things in these movies and then years and years later they come out to the public. And I remember one of these CIA agents or FBI, I think it was CIA, they said they have technology, I don't know, 20 years or something like that before it comes to the public. So when the first iPhone came out, they said they had that in the 80s, the late 80s. I believe the first iPhone came out 2008. So they had the iPhone supposedly since 1988. And now there's a video of a guy look like a I don't know East Indian looking guy. He was supposedly had his mind connected to the internet. Whether it was true or false, these devils have that type of power. Um, I'm gonna read this right here. The political declaration approved by Mr. Dennis Francis, President of the 78th UN General Assembly, and the result of negotiations under the able leadership of Ambassadors Gilad Erdan of Israel and Omar Hallel of Morocco, underscored the pivotal role played by WHO as a directing and coordinating authority on international health authority. So, what these devils want to do is have a black swan event, catch the whole world off guard by some type of pandemic, and it's going to force them to, round people up in the camps, force them to take the charagma, simultaneously killing off, culling a large portion of the population. And back to what I was saying, with this WROL situation, that's mostly going to be in these rural areas. All right, places like the cities will experience more EROL because they'll be easily cold, and cold means to basically lock up animals and kill them off. So if you have cows, cattle, farm animals, goats, whatever, right, and they're in the pasture, it's going to be a lot harder to kill them if they're in the pasture. But if you round them up into a I forget what you call it, but basically I forget the name of it where you store animals in a gate, but you round them up into a small enclosed area. I think it's called a cattle pen, if I'm not mistaken, and it's maybe about 3,000 square feet of fencing, right? And then the pasture is maybe 25 acres of fencing. So if you round up 20 cattle in this cattle pen, again, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be a lot easier to put them to death, right? And that's how this EROL situation is going to play out. Because you best believe when this pure chaos happens, that these Edomites are going to establish order, excessive rule of law order. If you don't follow their law, they're going to attempt to put you to death, but the elect will be saved out of this situation. And the ones of the elect that are put to death will be risen first. The dead in Hamashiach will what? Rise first. So let's go into this date. I believe it was May 7th, 2024. Okay. Amongst numerous measures required, the political declaration recognized the need for member states to conclude negotiations on a WHO convention, agreement, or other international instrument on pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response, otherwise known as the Pandemic Accord. Continue their work to make targeted amendments of the International Health Regulations 2025. I believe that's when it was established by May 2024. So this goes into effect. This goes into effect this year in May. That's a couple. What is that? That's the 5th month of this year. About the mid May 2024. I think it was May 7th, the exact date, where they're gonna or May 15th. I forget, where they're gonna basically have this stamped of approval on a global scale, and then from that point forward, these Edomites, and you never know, they may try to pull it beforehand, but these devils are gonna do something after this, whatever, right? They're gonna do something to cause the whole world to be forced into a EROL situation that comes from a WROL situation. All right, and then they're gonna blame it on helping, problem, reaction, solution. So these Edomites already have the solution, and then they already have the problem. They present a problem as if they didn't create the problem, and then they have a solution. All right, that's how these devils work. There's a 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And devices are what? A tool. A tool to what? A tool to get your way, accomplish a goal. And this is a goal that these Edomites want to accomplish. And then, as we know, the Heavenly Father is going to throw a monkey wrench in this goal, and they're not gonna prosper. They're gonna be thrown down, as it is written. Let's get that in Daniel. Daniel. This is Daniel, the 2nd chapter, in verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, and the great Almighty, right, Yahweh, hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and interpretation thereof is sure. And what is that stone cut out of the mountain? The word. And what was that word? Yahweh Shai. That's Yahweh Shai. That's going to throw down these nations. That's going to conquer and subdue this devil, which are the rulers of the earth, which are the Edomites, starting with Amalek. Right, the small hats. I just wanted to shed light on this. Lord's will was edifying. Shalom.